Darwin, I wanted to ask you this. Like, in general, do you think that the men that we're discussing here are self-aware enough to know which women it is that they should be getting closer to?
Are we self-aware to know? I think we know better. I think our desires, I think the aesthetics and the physical appearance and surface level things are making us disoriented whenever it comes to sticking to the principles and how we use the Bible to cross reference and vet the woman. I think the rise of sexual freedom and stuff has just made it even more distorted, and
Mhm.
it's just really playing on our our inability or ability to withstand temptations. It
Okay.
I suspect if we're talking about that particular guy now, but if we're just talking about a regular dude that don't even come from principles or even have any don't even have any interest in becoming having a relationship with God, then none of that even apply.
Yeah, he don't count.
Yeah,
So I've been married for 10 years. How long you been married?
same.
Okay. Were you Do you think that you were self-aware enough to pick the right woman when you got married, now that you're looking back 10 years ago? Or did you just become more self-aware as the marriage went along, and you realize like, oh, I learned this and I could pass this information back so that somebody else where I was 10 years ago, they could make an even better or more informed decision.
Yeah, I was absolutely self-aware. I have 6 years on my wife and a lot of more experience and understanding. And I was levels deep in trying to understand the word of God. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I think I spent maybe 5 years of, and it wasn't just the Bible, just self-awareness journey, right? Like self-help books, the Bible, Buddhism, all of that good stuff. And I think I was a little bit more self-aware than most, but that was 32. I'm 42 now. So I look back now and I'm like, wow, I'm even more self-aware. And that's why I said I think marriage is beautiful because it's the most beautiful mirror that you can ever really glance into as a human being, because it helped me become even more self-aware. So I think if I could talk to myself 10 years ago, I could give myself advice on how to pick and how a marriage should go. And when it say me and my wife, a lot of, struggle and strife along the way.
well, I will say
I
that
heard you when you said that earlier. When you said that earlier, brother, I loved it. When you said that your marriage was a mirror for you, that you I don't know if you're a Bible-based person, but that is one of the principal fruits that come from marriage biblically. It's that you have this opportunity. So the challenge that's laid on each human being is for us to try to love like God. And that is to make it, see, people think love is who you like the most. It's your favorite of favorites. Oh, this is my favorite, but it's even my favorite of favorites. So I don't want to call it my favorite. I want to say I love it. I like it more than everything else. So I don't want to say I like it. I love it. Like and love. Oh, that's not love. Okay. Love is sacrifice, the sacrifice of things that are valuable to you. It's the sacrifice of things that are valuable to you for the goodness of another person, for the goodness of the relationship. And it's doing it whether or not they deserve it. It's doing it whether or not you think they're going to notice it. It's doing it whether or not they're going to appreciate it. It's the constant pouring of that type of sacrifice into another person. All right. And so love is a marriage is a crucible. It's a crucible. It's a challenge for you to be able to love another person like that. And when you put God in the center of your life and in the center of your house, then you have people, the husband, the wife, the children, all of them are agreeing to make these sacrifices of love for one another, whether or not they think the person deserves it, whether or not they think they're even going to appreciate it. And that creates an environment of love. And that's a reflection of heaven on earth. And it's one of the mysteries of how it is that our marriages were meant to mirror God. And that's part of the reason that they say that we were made in the image of God, because a lot of the things that we're supposed to be doing are a reflection of the Father, or a reflection of the relationship between the Father and the Son, or the Son and the church. We're meant to reflect God's love. And so when you say, man, you know what, my marriage has been a mirror of self investigation for me to challenge myself, remove ugly parts of me, investigate broken parts of me. Man, that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. That's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. That's why it says before you talk about the speck in somebody else's eye, remove the log from your own eye. It's telling you that if you see a problem with somebody else, look at yourself first and see how and where and when you do the same thing you about to criticize somebody for. Use it as a mirror before you get on your high horse and start trying to correct somebody else. That's the purpose of that scripture right there. So I love what you said, man. I think you on point, brother.
I appreciate you, my
That's
brother.
a
I didn't know, Darwin, that you were married 10 years. Cho, I knew that about you. Well, I
you
knew
you didn't know that?
you had 8 or 9 years. I knew then it was 8 and 9, but now 10. So my
Yeah,
question for
if you
both of
check.
you,
Oh, my bad.
what'd you say?
Yeah, last year it would have been 9. Yeah, so mathematically you're correct.
I'm saying because I know Cho outside of this.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So, anyways, my question for both of you, I'm not sure if Wisdom's married or not. I didn't hear him say that. I didn't. If he did, I
Uh-oh.
missed it. But my question for the married men, if you took the obligation and the commitment out of the marriage, would you still treat your wives the same?
What obligation and commitment? What do you? Can you expound a little bit for me? Or Darwin, do you understand the question?
I think what she's saying, if we took the fact that
The
we
contractual
had to
agreement.
be there because, we believe in God and we believe in marriage and we're not supposed to break the covenant. If you took that out of it, will we still treat our wives the same? I would say yeah.
Absolutely. I love my wife, right? And that's not to say me and my wife was having a conversation the other day, and we were talking about how, and it could just be our algorithms, but you don't see a lot of married people on in these spaces talking about marriage as the real experience of marriage, right? And me and my wife, we've been together 20 years. We've been married for 10. So we've had our ups and downs. We've had our days when we didn't think it was going to work out that well. All of that said, to answer your question, I love my wife. I would absolutely still be there, committed, still be there, showing up, still providing, leading, being a father, being a husband, working hard, being an entrepreneur, doing everything that has to be done to make sure that she's taken care of. I can go as far as to say, if I'm making $50,000 a year and she decides to leave, I don't want to have to give her $25,000 a year, right, for alimony and child support. But what she has brought to my life, if I ever had to give her 50%, I wouldn't necessarily like it. But what she's brought to my life is more valuable than any amount of money that I could ever give her. So, it's all good.
But
Yeah.
it
And
sounds
then
like she framed
Darwin.
that question as if we were with our wives because of some commitment or obligation, and that was maybe the only straw holding us together. There's so many other things that's keeping us together, man. I don't think it's just can be limited to that. That's why if that wasn't there, then we would still be here. Man, I love my wife. You know what I'm saying? I love the family we made. I really appreciate the hard work and time and investment I put in the relationship for all these years to just chalk it up to, oh yeah, Darwin, by the way, you don't really have to be with if you don't want to.
I think.
I think it's a matter
Oh,
of the
I was wondering, Labo Nita. I mean, you could answer this better than I could. I think her question came from the conversation where everybody on the panel was talking about how men will stay in a marriage even if they're suffering in that marriage, and
tolerance.
the tolerance, right? But me and you, we still married, right? Like I'm like,
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
that's
a
definitely
good.
not where it came from.
No,
technically
okay, all right, cool. Can you
Neither one
technically
explain?
of
we're
you.
not
Like
tech,
I had a second part to that.
Oh,
So,
okay,
but
go ahead.
technically we're not even, if you want to be keeping 100 with no fault divorce and all this other stuff. And then of course the other things that God would grant you or allow you to divorce your spouse. Technically we're not even really obligated for real. If you want to be honest, we could chuck the dishes any given time. But the question is, why don't we? And I think that's where the power lies. Like, why are we still able to be here and just look at it as a duty, even whenever we go through the emotional roller coaster of, you know what, I don't like you today, or I don't love you today. We're still here. That's where the power lies. And I think if women are on a mass scale, and there's a lot of them that can do it, but for the most part, I just don't believe women are operating like that to where they have that piece of energy that where whenever they don't get their way and they don't like what's going on, they're still able to say, you know what? I don't, I, yeah, I didn't get my way. I didn't get the person I want. I'm still going to be here with this man because I'm his wife. I'm supposed to be here. I think that's missing from today's society.